Hey everybody, this is Mike with the One Stop Co-op Shop, and today I'm doing a play and review of Hand of Cthulhu, which is a solo in-hand game, and disclaimer that I was sent a review copy of this one. And if you like the content on the One Stop Co-op Shop, consider supporting us through Patreon. You get early access to our videos and exclusive videos every month you can't see anywhere else. You can also listen to our weekly podcast for reviews and design discussions, or join the conversation and say hi on our Discord. So again, this is an in-hand game where you could play it with just your two hands. I have done that. It works pretty well. Clearly for the video, I'm not going to do that. And what you are trying to do is you are trying to survive through all these encounters until you can get to this gate card at the back of the deck, and then you need to defeat the gate. And if you do that 4 times, get through the whole deck and defeat the gate 4 times, you win. If you run out of life or sanity or can't defeat a monster quickly enough, you lose. And yeah, we're just going to kind of jump in. It's a pretty straightforward game, and I'll explain things as we go. So at the beginning of the game, you pick your difficulty level, and that's going to determine how many starting items you get. I'm going to try, let's see. I lost like twice and then won once with 3 items the last few times I played, so let's try 3 one more time. So I'm going to take the top 3 cards and tilt them to the right, and all I'm looking at are these items here. If I was playing it in hand, I would actually have these stacked behind, and you can see it's even easier to see in that case, but I just want to keep things a little bit more organized for the video. And yes, I've got this little spinner at the top for 10 life and 10 sanity. I've got a shop that's going to be something I get to do after I fight the gate. The gate is at the back, and then the other cards are at the front here. All right, and we just jump through. Each of these items is going to be a weapon we can use, and we're going to pay attention to the topmost event or monster for each card we draw, because each of these has 4 different encounters on it, and as we go through the game, we're going to be flipping them and rotating them so that we get to see all the options. Okay, so the first thing we have is an event. It is not a fight, so we just make a choice. The lightning bolt means an immediate effect. So I can either gain +4 health, but I have to lose an item. That's what the box is. So I would pick one of these to throw away. It would go to the back of the deck behind the gate and the shop. Or I can keep the item on this card, which are brass knuckles. The max number of items you can hold at one time is 4. So I'll go ahead and hold that, since clearly I don't need to heal at all. But if I get another item, I have to throw one away. Okay, now we get into a battle with GB. So monsters will have one of 3 things, or more than one of 3 things. Here, I can show it here on Basotho. So to freeze frame there, many monsters will have a lightning bolt effect, which is an immediate effect. In this case, it would be -1 sanity if I didn't hold any spells. That's the S. Each item is an S, W, or O, a spell, a weapon, or an object. Then the up arrow is going to be on some enemies, and it'll tell me a bonus I get to my attacks, or a penalty I get to my attacks based on what I'm attacking with. In this case, Basotho is weaker against spells, so if I attack with a spell, I get +1 damage with it. And then I see his attacks at the bottom, in this case, -2 sanity. Many enemies will have multiple attacks, and if you cannot beat them before all their attacks fire off, then you can lose the game. Oh, and also, sorry, the most important thing at the top left, that's 7, is how much life he has, how much damage I need to deal to defeat him. Okay, so in this case, GB has 7 life. He is strong against weapons, so I would take -1 attack value if I use a weapon against him. And if I don't hit him the first round, if I don't kill him the first round, deal at least 7 damage, he'll take away 1 sanity. And if I don't defeat him the second round, then, since there's not another attack, I lose the game immediately. So I can use my attacks. So I've got a spell, 2 spells, and a weapon, and an object. The numbers, how much damage they deal, and I have to add up or exceed 7 with my attacks. And some of them, many of them I should say, will cost either health to use, that's usually weapons, or sanity to use, that's usually spells. And whichever item I use is going to go away, but I'll also get the item for defeating GB. So in this case, I think the obvious one, since he's going to be stronger against the brass knuckles and they don't do enough damage, is I'm going to use my geyser spell. So it costs me 1 sanity to use, so I tilt down to 9, and I take the card and tilt it back counterclockwise to the 90 degrees, so the same enemy that's there, and put that all the way at the back. But I've dealt 7 damage to GB. It's not reduced because it was a spell, so he's defeated without ever hitting me with his sanity attack, and I get his item, which is actually identical to what I just threw away. Or no, I guess it's not identical. It has a different name, but it is a knockout spell. Okay, now I've got Dreeker. He's weak against spells, so a spell will deal extra damage to him. The first time I don't kill him, he'll deal sanity damage. The second time I don't kill him, he will hit me with or take an item away from me. Now here, I guess I'll use the knockout spell again and take another sanity damage. I do have the health suck, which actually heals health damage, so I should be trying to use, well, actually, you know what? Yeah, let's switch that. I'll use the brass knuckles, which is going to do 6 damage, just enough. I lose 1 health from using that. But now if I use the health suck later, I'll gain a health back. It's a weaker weapon, but you gain health back. All right, so that is destroyed, but I get his blinding light, which is a nice weapon, even though it's weaker. It only does 6 damage because it does not hurt you at all to use it. All right, now we have a Basilisk, which is a 7. It is strong against weapons, but not against my knockout spell. Let's take 1 sanity damage to do exactly 7 and get a geyser spell again. You will see that there are some duplicates, like the geyser spell was the first one I used in that first battle. If you get 2 of the same kind in your hand, you're said to be dual wielding them, and that means when you use them, you don't have to throw them away. And if you can get 3 or 4 in your hand, you actually get free combat bonuses for triple or quadruple wielding. It doesn't happen very often, but it's cool when it does. Ooh, gang is special, so their life is equal to, 3 times the number of items I have. Okay, so that's interesting. Oh, but any item I use gets +1 life, so it's got 12. So what? Let's use, I guess, blinding light for this one. It'll be 7 and then 7. Okay, so we use it to do 7 damage. He hits us for 2 sanity. We use it again to do 7 more damage, which is enough, and he's defeated. So you can use the same item multiple times. It only gets thrown away at the end of the battle. Now, if I had used multiple items, though, like attacked him with 2 different weapons, I would have lost all of them. Okay, now I've got a Tommy gun. Does 11 damage, but costs 2 health to use it. Okay, we've got a cultist. He's only got 5 life, but if we don't defeat him, he's going to evolve, and that means you rotate him, he'll become the cult leader, and he will fully heal. It's like you're fighting a whole new enemy. So 5. I guess health suck. Now's a good time to use it. So I will heal 1 life. I'm back to 10. If you're about to lose for not having enough of something, so let's say like I was down to 1 sanity and had to take 1 sanity damage, you can instead lose 2 of something else. So you can kind of get a final chance to survive by taking some extra damage. All right, so I defeated the cultist, and I've got a sanity siphon. It's another 5 damage spell. It'll give me back sanity, which is good. I don't have much of that, but at the cost of health. Okay, another event. So whenever you see these question marks, they mean one of your 3 types of resources. So health being 1, sanity being 1, and items being 1. So here I could, for example, gain 2 sanity, is probably what I'll do, and lose 2 health, or gain 2 sanity and throw away 2 items. But yeah, I'll definitely gain 2 sanity and lose 2 health. That'll even things out a bit. Get them both at 8, and that's it. You do not get the item for these ones unless something else allows you to. Okay, now there's a riot. So I have to subtract 1 from one of my stats and skip the next card. I guess I have more ways to get sanity now with that sanity siphon. So let's subtract 1 of those. So I skip riot, and I also, unfortunately I skipped a positive card. Okay, now another positive card though. So now I've got a hotel. So I can either gain 1 health and 1 sanity immediately, or I can keep this item, which is an event. You can use events after the lightning bolt on a given card, or after you defeat the card. So kind of like before or after combat. And that would let me gain 2 health and 2 sanity, but I have to throw away an item because I can't hold them all. And as you're about to see, after you defeat the gate, it's good to have more items because you can sell them to heal yourself. So I'm just going to get the basic effect here and go to 9 health and 8 sanity, and that guy's gone. All right, now we got to fight Bajil. So +1 if I use a weapon, and he's going to hit me for -2 sanity, which kind of makes me feel like maybe I hit him with the Tommy gun. Yeah, okay, so I'm going to take 2 health, and I'm actually dealing 11 +1 since the weapon 12, so way more than enough. So I'll trade in my Tommy gun for a flamethrower. A little bit weaker, but it only costs 1 health instead of 2. And man, I thought we were at the gate, but I guess we still have a few more. Yargaroth. So he takes extra damage from spells, making me think Geyser spell is the way to go here. Yeah. So let's go ahead and take 1 sanity, fire off Geyser spell, 7 +1 from his weakness, and I get a stun spell, which is just slightly better. Cool. Okay, and 1 more before the gate. It is Sharnak. So he's just a 7. First time he'll hit me, he'll take away a health. Second time, he will take away an item. Yeah, I guess stun spell is the way to go here. So I will spend another sanity to fire that off. And I get a blinding light spell. Okay, now I come to the gate. Gate combats are pretty much the same. So first I get the immediate effect of taking 1 sanity and 1 health or throwing away an item. Now, the more items I have, I'll be able to sell them at the shop in a moment. So I think I'm just going to take the 1 and 1 here. So I'm down to 6 and 5. Then I'm going to have to attack them to try to do 15 damage. And first they'll do sanity, then health, then sanity, then item damage. And pretty much it's the same as regular combat, except that you can do special conversions. So if I use an object to hit him and also subtract 1 from anything or throw away an item, I do 7 damage. So like I could use the butter knife. Or if I use a card that is specifically called knife, I don't think butter knife counts as that, and take an extra damage in addition to whatever the knife itself would cost, I do 9 damage. These are called fractures. And the cool thing is when you use them, you don't have to get rid of the item. And then, yeah, those are the only ones I need. This would need to be a weapon that has exactly 8 damage and exactly 12 damage. And 12 damage would one-shot, but I have to spend 2 extra stuff. So here, I could just hit it with Blinding Light 3 times and then take Sanity, Health, Sanity, and only lose that 1 item. Or I could do like the butter knife for the object fracture, and then I guess finish him off. That'd be 7 with the flamethrower. That would lose me, 1 heart and 1 sanity? Blinding Light would also leave me 1 heart and 1 sanity, but I think Blinding Light is a weaker item for trading in, so sure. So I'll use Blinding Light once, take a sanity. If you use Blinding Light again, 12 damage, take a heart. And use Blinding Light again, and finish him off. So that goes back since I used it. And now we go to the shop. So the shop is basically where you recharge and heal yourself. I'm at 5 health and 4 sanity. And what I can do is I can trade in as many items as I want. I'm just paying attention to their type or their value here, like the 10 and the 5. I am not paying attention to their cost because I'm not using them. So for example, I could trade in the flamethrower to get +4 to something, +2 to something, and +2 to something. That could be healing health, that could be healing sanity, or it could be drawing more weapons at the beginning of the next round, which is a huge thing to do because if you can get to your max of 4 items, it not only means that you have more stuff to use, but it also means you're not going to fight as many enemies. So often I'll trade in everything. And by the way, objects, the reason I was keeping this dumb butter knife, are one of the best ones because you trade them in for 5 and 3 and 2. So I'm certainly going to do that. Okay, so yeah, let's trade in the butter knife. And each one has to be different. So we'll trade in for 5 sanity since that was my lowest. That gets me to 9. 3 health gets me to 8. And 2 items. These are going to be items that are drawn from the top of the deck after we kind of set everything up for the next wave. And you can only go up to 4 items, so if I keep some left over. And then, the flamethrower is pretty solid, actually. So let's turn in this guy. So that's a 5, so it's less than 7, so I get 2 of something, full health, 1 of something, full sanity, and 1 more item. So I'm drawing 3 items total. I'm keeping my flamethrower, so we are totally good. All right, then we make sure that the gate is at the back. Everything else stays in the same order. And we're switching to gate 2, which means we flip the entire deck over, and we'll get all new encounters, and we go again. But remember, I got 3 items, so I just take the top 3. I got Health Drain, I got a Teleport spell, and I got a Knockout spell. Teleport spell is pretty awesome. I use it again after a lightning bolt effect or after defeating an enemy, although actually for this one, you don't want to use it after defeating an enemy. And then I get to skip the next 2 cards, the card I'm currently on, and the next one at the cost of 1 sanity. So a nice way to kind of speed through things. All right, I've got Baruch. Take 1 health damage if I have a weapon. I do, the flamethrower. Okay, and then I would need to do 6 damage. Might as well just knockout spell this guy, right? And I can get the knife. I'll need to use the teleport on him. All right, so the knockout spell is gone. I get the knife. Okay, Beast is going to hit me for 2 damage. And all I've got to kill him is a flamethrower. Then he's going to get me a pretty weenie item. All right, you know what? I'll go and use the teleport spell. He's not like the worst enemy in the world, but he's also not giving me anything much. So that goes away, he goes away, and that guy goes away. Okay, now I'm at music. I can gain 3 stamina, but I lose a life, which would be a good trade because I could get up to 10, go down to 8 health. Or I can just keep this trumpet, which is an object, and we saw objects are quite good. I'll keep the object. Okay. Now we got a lookout. Oh, crud. Who's going to give me a free item, which would be the next card. Now, I think this one I'm not 100% sure on. I think I get to look at the next card and decide which thing I want to keep. So this would be +1 of 2 different things, which is not as good as having an actual item to trade into the store. So now I'll just let that one go. Okay, Mugger. He's a 6 life, but he's going to hit me for 1. Oh, but I can just knife him for free here. So we'll do that. Oh, and he gives me another knife. Oh, wait, I could. Hold on. I could get a dual-wielded knife if I kill him with something else. Is that worth doing, is the question here. You know what? Sure. Let's use health drain. Because look, I'm going to hit him for 4 and heal 2 health. Then he's going to hit me for 1 damage. Then I'm going to hit him for 4 and heal 2 health again. So I end up ahead in the bargain. And yep, I've got a second knife. So remember, the second weapon just means that I don't discard it if I use it. Which, yeah, actually, I guess isn't that great. But if I get a third knife, then it's a +2, I think, to the total strength. And then I think 4 was +3. All right, here I get -1 health if I don't have an object, but I do. And weapons are worth +1. So I can just straight up kill him with the knife. And then I guess I'll refuse the pistol. Oh, and there's another pistol. Interesting. Okay, Yagolanak. Oh, another minus heart if I don't have an object. I'm fine. This one takes extra damage from spells. Well, let's use the flamethrower. So I'll take 1 damage to one-shot him, and he gives me a pistol. And Shilu. I love the art for this game. Oh, I have to immediately lose an item. Huh. Okay, well, nothing's going to kill him straight up, so I guess let's get rid of the pistol. And I will knife him once, then he hits me for 2 health. Then I'll knife him again, and we get a mace. Okay, now it's a motel. Ooh, we can get +3 health or take a pistol. I will definitely get +3 health. That was amazing. And a cult leader, the other side of that cult card. So I immediately lose a sanity. I'm at 7. And then spells deal less damage. I could one-shot him with the mace, but that would make me take a sanity. Oh, no, I wouldn't take a sanity. Yeah, so if I hit him with the mace, I'll be down to 9 life. If I double hit him with the knife, I'll be 10 life, but less sanity. So yeah, let's mace him. So I go down to 9, but he is one shot, and I get a spell. And we're at gate 2, so now I have to lose 2 of one thing and 1 of another, or throw away a weapon. Again, I'm going to go in and take the actual negative there. Okay, so object can do 7 out of 20. The knife is a 6, so I can... And each of these is only usable once, by the way, so I can't keep doing it. But I could use the knife and take a damage, should do 10. And the geyser, I could take an extra sanity and deal 10. So that would kill him with 2 hits. So let's do that. So first I'll use the knife and take a damage. So that's 10 damage. Things that you use for fractures don't go away. That's the important part here. Then I take a sanity. Okay, and then I'm using the geyser spell. So you have to pay its regular cost, so that's 1 sanity, plus the extra cost here for doing a 7. But that's another 10, and he is defeated without spending any items. Pretty awesome. All right, so we're back to the store. We'll certainly get rid of the trumpet. So that's going to get us 5, 3, and 2. So we'll do the 5 for sanity, of course, and the 3 for health. And we're getting 2 items if we can hold them. Now, do I want to keep the dual-handed knives? Sure, I think that's pretty cool. So let's get the geyser spell traded in. So that's 2, 2, and 1. So we'll do 2. Actually, we're not going to get all of it because we can't hold enough items. So we're just going to get 2 more items and make sure that this stuff goes in front of the thing. And then we're flipping the entire thing over to get to gate 3. And yeah, you can just kind of see how the game goes. So let's just play through. All right, Reaver's tough. Oof, wish I had that teleport spell or something. Oh, wait, hold on. I do not fight him. I get him for free. I get a fireball. And I get a firework. Just fire all over the place. Okay, but now I'm fighting a Hathoga, whatever. A Hathoga. -1 sanity. Spells deal +1. Ooh, so I could one-shot him with the fireball. But I can also just 2-shot him with the knife and only take 1 damage. The fireball costs more than that. So yeah, let's do that. So he hits me once for health, and then I hit him again with the knives, and he is dead. Now, do I want to take... I mean, dynamite is pretty great. Yeah, I guess I don't need the dual-wielding knives anymore. They were okay for a little while. Okay, book. I could lose an item to get 4 sanity now, or I can take a magic beam. Sure, but then I'm going to throw it away, I think. Okay, vampire. I lose a health if I don't have a weapon. I do have one. And then weapons deal extra damage, so the knife would one-shot him. Let's do it. And he gives me a pistol. No more knives. Okay, then I got a Shaggoth. Objects do +3, so I could double hit him with the firework, but then he would get me for -2 sanity. Instead, I could just one-shot him with the fireball or the dynamite. But then I would take -2 health or sanity anyway. Well, you do need to have like big weapons theoretically to kill the final gates. So let's do the fireball one. I'll hit him twice with the fireball, and I will lose 2 sanity from his first attack. Now I got another flamethrower. All right. Okay, and Barath immediately hits me down to 8 health. And let's flamethrow him. I'll go down to 7. Get the flamethrower gone, get a shotgun instead. Okay, Gargaroth. It's like Gargamel's brother. I will go down. Here, let's make the health and sanity a little bit less covered. Go down to 6. Shotgun him. Get a rifle. I'm just like slowly trading down here. Ooh, meditation. Skip the next card or get Ultra Reality, which will let me switch an enemy. Let's just skip the next card. Oh, which was a runaway, which would also skip the next card. Forced trade. So I have to discard an item to get a knife. I like all these big things. Let's discard my pistol and get a knife again. Okay, thief. He immediately steals an item. What the heck, man? Well, I guess I'll use the knife to kill him since it won't hurt me at all. So I'll get rid of the rifle, stab him with the knife, get a sanity drain. Train ticket. Skip next card or keep a teleport spell. Well, let's skip the next card because I could see it was a bad guy. And we get to the gate, which is now going to do -2 or -1 or lose an item. So sure, we'll do -2 sanity, -1 health, I guess. Okay, we got to do 25. So the dynamite would hit us for 2 life and then 1 more life and 1 sanity, but we would get 20 out of 25. And then we could finish him with... Oh, we'd still have to use like one of the big weapons to finish him off, which is not great. Yeah, I'm going to get hurt a lot here. Well, let's still do it. So I'll use dynamite. So that's 3 health total. From the 2 that I have to use it, plus 1 for the fracture, and 1 sanity. Does 20 out of 25. Then he hits me for another sanity. Ouch. And then I can't do another fracture, so I have to actually lose an item. So let's use sanity drain. So I'm going to heal myself up to 5. Then he hits me for his second attack, so I'm down to 1. And then I'll use sanity drain again, since I'm losing it anyway, and go up to 7 and defeat him, because that was 20 plus 4 plus 4, 28, just enough. All right, so I only have 2 items, and I'm very hurt, but I kept my sanity up quite high. So let's definitely trade things in. Let's trade in the dynamite first. It's 5, 3, 2. So we'll put the 2 into sanity and the 5 into health. And we're getting 3 items from that. And then, I guess we're going to be fine. The fireball can get us back to 10 and 10 and 4 items. So I'm not keeping any specific, but as I go into the final gate, and this one is another 180-degree thing, so I have literally seen every side of every card, we get our last thing. So we've got Blinding Light, Broken Bottle. This is going to be a totally random assortment of items. Oh, Tommy Gun, that's pretty good. And another object. What the heck? Okay. We got Shigo. He immediately hits us for a sanity, and he will switch to a Shagoth if I cannot defeat him. Well, let's Blinding Light him for no negative effect on us, and we get a knife. We got Biru. Let's knife him for no negative effect on us and get a Brass Knuckles. Loving this. Okay, I can get 1 and 1 or get a pick-me-up item, but I don't have stuff. So I'll just get 1 and 1, waste 1 of it. That was pretty nice. Okay, now I can run away. Yep, and I think these are required. I don't think you get to do a choice. Okay, I take a damage if I don't have a weapon. I do. Ketooch. And then weapons deal +1 damage. Should I Tommy Gun him? Or I could double Brass Knuckle him. No, I guess Tommy Gun would lose me 2 life. Double Brass Knuckle would lose me 3 life. But I really do want to have some big weapons to finish off the enemy. So yeah, let's double Brass Knuckle him. Or I could do Broken Bottle or Baseball Bat. That would also be 3 life. Let's do that, actually. All right, so I'll Broken Bottle him 3 times, which means both of his attacks go off, and I'm down to 6 life. That was not great. But now I got a rifle. Okay, help. I can lose something to gain 1 of 2 other things. I was going to say I would lose a sanity, and then I'll gain 1 health, and... Again, yeah, let me check the rules real quick. Yeah, it sounds like I can draw an item and then get rid of one, so I'd actually skip an enemy if I do that, if I'm understanding that right. So let's get -1 sanity for +1 health and +1 item, which I believe is going to be this one. And then I could throw something away. Ooh, actually, teleport spell. Well, I'm worried about not defeating the boss, though. So let's throw away that. Okay. This guy is a 9, so let's Brass Knuckle him twice. That would take away a lot of health, but sure. Okay, so that's -2 health for using the Brass Knuckles once, and he does hit us once for 1 sanity, but we get a shotgun. Okay, a giant spider. We definitely have a weapon, and he's super easy to kill. Ooh, we gain a sanity each time we hit him with an object. So let's do that. So I'll hit him with a baseball bat. I gain a sanity. He makes me lose a sanity. I hit him with another baseball bat. I gain a sanity, and he's dead. That was excellent. We got a health siphon, which seems pretty good too, since we're very high on health. Sorry if I had that out of the frame. Kasogtha, so weapons deal +1, so I could one-shot him with the Tommy gun. Or I could health siphon him, but no, that would be a dramatic loss of sanity. I don't know if I want to do that much. Okay, I'd hit him 3 times, which means I'd lose 3 sanity, 4 sanity, 6 sanity. I'd be down to 3 sanity, but I'd be up to 8 health. Actually, kind of similar where I'll be if I use the Tommy gun. Okay, let's use the Tommy gun for 2 health. It does one-shot him. And then I've got a lot of stamina left, or sanity left, to use the Ice Storm. Oh, we got one more enemy left. Oh, God. Immediate -1 to each. Okay. All right, I think now I'm going to use the health siphon because that'll be terrible against the boss. So I got to hit him 3 times. Is this really what I want to be doing? So what would that do? I would gain 3 life but lose 1. I would lose 3 sanity plus another sanity. So I'd be down to 4 sanity and 5 life. That sounds pretty balanced. Actually, I kind of like that. So I hit him just to kind of walk this through. I hit him once, boop, boop. He hits me for a damage. I hit him again, up to 10 damage, boop, boop. He hits me for a sanity. I hit him a last time, and that's 15, and he's defeated. Okay, and I got a rocket. I got a big hit. Okay, here's the gate. So now I don't care about having items to go to the store. So do I want to, instead of taking that much damage, which is devastating, do I want to throw away like the shotgun and the rifle? Because I can, do I have enough to fire off both fractures? Or actually, I could just do Ice Storm for 20 and then the rocket to finish him off. But that's 2 sanity and 2 health. 1 more sanity and health, so that'd be 3 and 3, which would not quite kill me. No, but it would kill me because he would hit me for a sanity shoot. Oh, here, wait. If I just saw the 9 gets 11, or the 8 gets 10. So I could actually do 3 health and 1 sanity. No, but then using the shotgun or the rifle would kill me. Oh, no, but I can use the 2 for 1, so I think this might work out. I'm going to use... Oh, it was the Ice Storm. I'm good. Okay. I'm going to get rid of this and this to pay for his costs. I think I figured this out right. Then I'm going to hit him with the Ice Storm Fracture. So that is 2 and 1 more and 1 more. Nope. I did it wrong. Shoot. Because now he hits me for 1 sanity, which I can't pay. So I got to pay 2 of those. And then I could do the Shotgun Fracture, but I have to pay a health for it. And I don't think I can throw away 2 items that I'm using in combat. So I think I lose at the very last second, but I'm not 100% on some of those more nuanced rules. But anyway, that was Hand of Cthulhu. So what I think of this one, it first of all works very well as an in-hand game. You know, kind of like the only slight complication is you got to keep your like weapons over there to the side. And sometimes I do find I need to like kind of reorient them because they'll be putting enemies behind them and they get kind of trapped. So then I just kind of move them to the back again. But other than that, it's pretty dang easy to play. You can kind of see you're constantly shuffling through cards and stuff. And yeah, it's pretty interesting. I mean, it has some thought and some tactical choice, but it's certainly more just like a, going through the motions, seeing how you do, trying to survive solitaire style game. But the art is great. There is some nice variety in the cards you see. Sometimes you will get like triple or quadruple wielded weapons, and that changes things up. It feels cool when you get to like use a weakness against somebody or use the exact type of card to defeat them. So it's a good time for what it is. It's certainly not like a strategic masterpiece. I do wish the rules were slightly clearer, although I think that's just me reading them stupidly. But yeah, it's a game where you're just going through the motions and doing the same thing 4 times and trying to survive. And it's a pretty good time. So that is Hand of Cthulhu. And thanks for watching, everybody. Special thank you to our biggest Patreon supporters, J. William F., Steve Wren, Casey W., Andrew R., and Chris C. We'll see you at the next stop.